Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to auditing class. How are you all doing? I hope all of you are doing great. I'm doing great, and I'm very, very happy to be here with you again. And I hope you have been revising whatever we have studied. If you revise it, you'll remember and understand the later part of the chapter also very nicely. When you study in the class, that's not called as the first time studying. Only when you study on your own, that's properly studying for the first time. So, welcome back to this nice, exciting class of auditing. Today, we are going to do a lot of different essays, which are very direct, very sharp, very structured, and very quick also, and easy also. Plus, they give you a lot of marks also. So everything good today. Nothing, just like that. Everything very, very focused and sharp today, and everything gets you good marks, and everything is easy. So let's start. And I can see a lot of you have joined. All right. I'm audible, visible, everything okay? Just give a quick thumbs up so that I'm not talking to myself. Okay, okay. I'm seeing hands and everything. Okay. And I hope you're sitting straight, not lying down on the bed and watching the lecture. Sit straight, properly, keep the phone or laptop or whatever you have in front of you. Keep your book in your hand and keep your pen in your hand. Okay. Now we can start with the lecture. Visible and audible. Okay. Perfect. Let's start. So what all we have finished? Earlier, we have finished essay number 700, 701, and 705. All of this is already finished, right? So today we'll do something new. Now focus here. Let's say whenever I'm teaching you, we highlight a few things, right? Because so many things are there. I want you to not miss some important things. Yes or no? I don't want you to miss important things, right? So what do? I highlight a few things. Same way, imagine that you are an investor who is going through a whole annual report of a company, which can be so many pages. There's balance sheet, then balance sheet annexures can be there, then notes can be there, P&L can be there. For each P&L, there can be notes. So many things to see. Even if company has given everything, is it possible that if you are an investor putting your money, you can miss something important? Because so many things are there. For example, it's your book, right? So many things can be there. We might miss something important, and so that you don't miss it, I highlight it or I underline it, right? Same way, when you are an investor, it can happen to you also that you are reading the whole annual report. Okay, you're not being careless. Company is also not being careless. They have put everything, but because there's so much to tell and there's so much to write, you can miss something. And here comes our essay to solve this problem. Now, this essay says that suppose there is something that is already disclosed appropriately. Appropriately matlab अच्छे से, properly, correctly it has been disclosed. In financial statements, it has already been correctly disclosed. But I want to draw user attention to it. Who wants to draw users attention to it? Auditor wants to draw users attention. You don't have to write this. I have made a flow chart for you. That at the end, I'll show you the whole flow chart. Right now, I'm doing this to explain to you, okay? So you don't have to write this part. Just focus on listening to me and understanding, okay? So something has been disclosed very correctly. Let's take an example of this. For example, company had a major short circuit fire in their godown and they lost stock of around 2 crore rupees. Okay. This is something very important that has happened in the company, and they have properly shown, as per AS 4 and SA 560, they have properly shown it in notes and disclosures that this fire happened. But I am worried as an auditor that the investor might miss this. They might not see this, but I want the investor to not miss this. So I want to draw users' attention to it. Is it something new I'm saying, or it's already there in the financial statement? It's already there in the financial statement. Has company committed any fraud or any error? No. Company has also properly disclosed it. So there is no error and fraud and anything happening. Everything is disclosed, but I just want to highlight it. For this, SA 706 comes in picture. It says, if you want to emphasize something, emphasize means what? Emphasize means I want to highlight something. I want to put attention on something. Then you can put emphasis. You can put emphasis of matter paragraph. You can put a special paragraph called as emphasis of matter paragraph. This paragraph comes after opinion and basis for opinion, which means our audit report will never have emphasis of paragraph before opinion paragraph or before basis for opinion paragraph. It will always be after opinion is finished. Opinion work khatam ho chuka hai, sab अच्छे से set हो चुका है, जो भी opinion थी दे दी, whatever opinion you wanted to give, you have properly given. There's no problem left. After that, I want to bring your attention to some matters. Now, this emphasis of matter paragraph should have clear heading. You should have clear heading. Then it should have clear reference. What does reference mean? Clear reference mean I will write that I am emphasizing about the fire that broke out in the company, for which you can find detailed notes on this page under this note of balance sheet. What does reference means? That I will write in short. In emphasis of matter paragraph, I will write in short that this is what happened. If you want to know details about this, go to this page of financial statements. So your emphasis of matter paragraph will have a clear reference to place where it is disclosed in financial statements in detail. So I have told you in short, you want to see in detail, go to this page. Okay. So it should have a clear heading. It should have a clear reference. Now you yourself tell me with logic, is emphasis of matter paragraph a substitute? Is it a substitute of opinion paragraph? Which means if I didn't write something in opinion, can I write in emphasis? Is it a substitute of KO 705? Of course, no. Very good. Is it a substitute of 701? What is 701? What is 701? KAM. So is it a substitute of key audit matter? Is it a substitute of key audit matter? So no, it is not a substitute of K701 also, madam. Is it a substitute of going concern assumption? So if something is affecting going concern and I should put it in going concern paragraph as per 700, can I instead put in emphasis of matter paragraph? Of course, no, ma'am. Very good. Now, by your own logic, try to tell me that what is the difference between, just try to think. What is the difference between a KAM, key audit matter, versus emphasis of matter paragraph? What is the difference between them? Try to think about it. What do you think is the difference between key audit matter and emphasis of matter paragraph? I'll give you a minute. Type it. Quickly. It's okay if you're wrong, but I want you to think first before I tell you. I want to develop your critical thinking skills also. Okay, Anil? So you have explained emphasis. Now compare it with KAM and tell what is the difference. Okay, KAM is most significant during audit. EOM means something necessary. KAM is what investors should know. KAM is which is significant to TCWG. Both improve communicative value. KAM also improves communicative value and EOM also improves. So that is not a difference. Both are important. So listen, pay attention here. KAM is what auditor has audited and how he has audited. I want people to know what I have audited. I want them to know how I have audited. That is KAM. EOM means I want readers to know what happened in company. Do you see the difference? In KAM, I want to show off that, see, this was very important. So I checked this and this is how I checked it. But EOM is about, I have not done anything. Something has happened in the company. Company has properly reported it. I have not done anything about it. I am just bringing it to your attention. So KAM is about auditor wants to tell something about his own work. So here KAM is about auditor's work regarding significant matters. It is about auditor's work regarding significant matters. But what is EOM about? It is about significant events that happened in company. Is everyone clear? In exam, it is not about that they'll ask you what is the difference between KAM and EOM. But does this give you a clarity of perfectly what is the difference? No, EOM is not a narration. EOM is a summary. It's like a highlight of something that has happened. Everyone clear? All right. Perfect. So this is EOM, emphasis of matter paragraph. One of the most important things that is very, very important. It is already disclosed appropriately in financial statements. So if something is not disclosed in the financial statement, can it be a part of emphasis of matter paragraph? Can I write something new that does not already is a part of financial statement? Can I write something new in EOM? No. Is that clear? So some more examples of this is, for example, any exceptional litigation, which means some very big case has been brought against company, in which if company loses, you can lose your business or something very, very material. So that must already be disclosed in contingent liabilities or notes. So I'm just bringing to your attention. Then any catastrophe. What does it mean by catastrophe, students? It means any natural or unnatural disaster. Natural or unnatural disaster. So flood, earthquake, that can also be a catastrophe. Fire due to short circuit, that can also be a catastrophe. Okay. Then what else? If you have applied any new accounting standard, so suppose a new accounting standard is released for inventory, because of which inventory value has fluctuated a lot. You have disclosed it properly in the notes, but can you still disclose it in EOM so that the investors know? Yes. So EOM is perfectly clear to everyone. Can I move to the next topic? EOM is perfectly clear. Very, very small topic. Quick marks you get, good marks you get, and very quick to do also. All right. Now, there is a brother of EOM. Which essay we are studying? First, tell me quickly. Which essay are we studying? जल्दी जल्दी बताइए. Quickly tell me which essay we are studying. Essay 706, ma'am. Perfect. Now, essay 706 has EOM. It has one more thing called as OM, that is other matters, which we will study now. Other matters paragraph. Okay, pay attention to this. Everyone, focus here. Other matters paragraph. I'll start with a small example. Suppose you are auditor for 2024-2025. Okay, you're auditing this year. The previous year is 2023 and 2024. Have all of you studied essay number 510? What was essay 510? Quickly tell me, what was essay 510? Quickly, quickly. What was essay 510? Everyone is giving a different answer. Did you make the chart I told you to make? To write down all the essay number with name and stick in front of your bookshelf or your study table or your home bed, anywhere. How many of you did that? I gave you one small task. How many of you did that? Tell me that. I told you to see it every day when you go to sleep. See it when you wake up. How many of you have done? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 people have only done that. Hmm? And then we worry, ma'am, auditing, I'm not able to remember, not able to remember. You have to do some work. You have to make some efforts. There, we are here to guide you, but you also have to follow what we are telling you to do, right? Very small task I gave you. It's very important that if I'm telling something, you follow it. It is for your upliftment only. Okay, it's not for me, it's for you. I have also prepared it. Very good, Archana. Very good, Riya. Very good, Tanu. Very good, Kuldeep. So these people have done it. Okay. Initial audit engagement is SA 510. What happens in SA 510? that it tells us that when you are doing an appointed auditor for the first time, you need to check opening balances also. That much you remember? We need to check the opening balances. We need to check the consistency of accounting policies. All these things we have to do. But suppose previous year figures were unaudited. Previous year figures were unaudited. I have been appointed as auditor for 2024-25. If you are the users of financial statement, do you think that you should know that previous year figures are unaudited? Do you think you deserve to know that previous year figures are unaudited? Do you think you should know that previous year figures no one audited, right? Where will you put this information that previous year figures are unaudited? Other matters paragraph. So previous year figures are unaudited. Is that a part of management's notes, disclosures of financial statements? Other matters paragraph is matters not disclosed in financial statements, which is related to audit, audit report, or auditor's responsibility, for which auditor wants to draw user attention. So where will they put it? They'll put in others matter paragraph, subject to not prohibited by L&R. It means we have written everything that was already in financial statement, we have highlighted in EOM paragraph. But there are still some things I want to tell you. There's still some things I want to bring to your notice. So what other paragraph I am left with? Other matters paragraph. It's a residual paragraph in which if auditor wants to communicate anything regarding audit, audit report, or auditor's responsibility, and you want to draw user attention to something, where will you put it? In other matters paragraph, subject to that you are putting only that information which you are allowed to share. If you're not allowed to share something, you can't put it. Everyone clear? This is other matters paragraph. Very simple. Finished. That's it. This is whole essay number 706. Can anything be more easier than this? But from the pattern I have noted, some or the other reference to this essay is always there in the paper. So if you have understood it today, then you will always remember it. This is the beauty of this essay. Okay. So let's quickly see the notes I made for you. Everyone. What is essay 706? Can everyone see the notes now? Pre-made notes, everyone can see? Okay. So, simple. It says essay 706 is for what communication? It is for additional communication. Why we are doing this additional communication? So that we can have users' attention. Then there are two ways in which we can get users' attention. Matters which are already properly and appropriately presented and disclosed in financial statements, which are fundamental to users' understanding. Something that is very important for the user to understand the whole financial statement. So it's very fundamental. I will zoom out after I have taught you everything, okay? So once I go through the whole flowchart, Anil, I'll zoom out and you can write it or take a screenshot, okay? I'll zoom out. All right. So it is fundamental to the user's understanding. So it is emphasis of matter paragraph. It is a separate section with a proper heading. You should have to include a reference to the disclosure in detail, or everything I've taught you. Okay. It should be a separate section with separate heading. You should give a reference to the original disclosure in the whole financial statement. And you have to properly clarify that just because I'm making emphasis paragraph, it does not mean that this matter is modified. People should not think that I have written about fire that happened in the company. It means company has not disclosed it or company has done some problem in it. No, I have to clarify that just because I'm making this, it does not mean it affects the opinion. Okay. Then opinion not required to be modified because of this. Matter should not be a key audit matter. It is not a substitute for 705 and 570, and it is not a substitute for anything that you are anywhere required to do. The management cannot say, oh, we didn't put in disclosure. It's okay. You put in EOM. No. Whatever should be in financial statement should be in financial statement. EOM is just additional. It does not a substitute for things that should be correctly there in the financial statements. That's it. This is emphasis of matter paragraph. Okay. Now let's come to other matters paragraph. Matters other than already presented and disclosed in financial statement, which is relevant to users' understanding. Understanding of what? Audit, auditor's responsibility, and auditor's report. Okay. Other matter paragraph. There should be a separate section. It should not be prohibited by L&R, and it should not be a KAM. Okay. Is everyone clear? Now you tell me on your own. If I am putting any EOM or OM about company in my audit report, does it mean I'm complaining about something about the company or I am telling something bad about the company? No. It's a cooperative process where we want to improve the understanding of the users. So this is not a CID game that we are playing. Okay. So, do you think you should discuss with management your wording, what exactly you are going to write in the report in EOM and OM before you directly show them the report? Do you think you should discuss with management and TCWG before you put this paragraphs? Yes. So, this brings me to the last point. If auditor decides EOM or OM, communicate with TCWG and do even show them what exactly you are going to write. Show them the whole wording. And here we are done with the whole essay. Everyone clear? Everyone clear? You can see the whole essay now. Okay. Once everyone is done, just leave a thumbs up so that I can move on to the next topic. Okay, perfect. I think most of you have responded. All right, so we'll move on to the next standard. Next standard, can I move on? How to differentiate between EOM and OM. This first line is the difference. That's why I put it even before the name. EOM is matters that are already presented and disclosed in financial statements. OM is matters other than those presented and disclosed in financial statements. Is that clear, Kuldeep? That is the difference between them. All right, perfect. I'll move on to the next essay now. First, as usual, I'll explain, then we'll see the notes. I have made notes for the next essay also. Okay. Next essay. So, tell me this. You all have studied initial audit engagement. Now, suppose 2024-25 is there and 2023-24 is there. Okay. Suppose I tell you that the sales of the company is 250 crores. Now you are the users of the financial statement. Tell me if it is good or bad. Tell me if 250 crores is good or bad. Will you invest in this company? Adil is saying good, ma'am. Chandana is saying good, ma'am. Everyone is saying good. What if now I say you that previous year the sales were 400 crores? Now tell me, is this 250 crores good? Which means company's revenue has fallen down now by 150 crores. What does it mean? It means that is financial statement and audit report of any use if we don't have comparative figures? Is it of any use? Can we make any decision? Can we understand the company whether it's doing well or it's doing bad? Can we understand anything unless there is a corresponding figure to it? Unless there is something to compare? We can't understand. But have I audited this figure? Have I audited this? I have been appointed as this year, but somebody else has audited or it has not been audited. But that figure is so important for my financial statements for the year I have audited. Yes or no? Which means figures that were not audited by me are very important to understand the figures that were audited by me. Understood? So, for this, you studied essay 510. Do you remember? It did not talk about presentation, but essay 510 talked about responsibilities. Yes? What were the two major things that essay 510 talked about? It talked about that opening balances have been correctly brought forward and accounting policies are consistent. And if any change, then it is presented and disclosed appropriately. Do you remember this much? But it is only for initial audit engagement. What does initial audit engagement mean? What does initial audit engagement mean? New appointment. Perfect, Kuldeep. In one word, you have said it appropriately. Initial audit engagement only focused on what? If you are auditing for the first time, either the previous year figures were audited by someone else or they were not audited at all. Now, the essay we are going to study, that is essay number 710, talks about general comparative information. It means even if I am auditor every year, since past 5 years, I am auditor every year. Does the previous year figure still needs to be comparable to the current year figure? Even if I'm auditor every year, does the previous year figure still needs to be comparable? Which means if closing stock, I only audited previous year. Let's imagine I only audited previous year. Closing stock last year was, let's say, 4 crores. Okay. And now it has become, it's showing me 3.5 crores. But this time they used FIFO method. This time they used LIFO method. So previous year I audited, that time they used FIFO. This year I audited, they used LIFO. Is this correct? Are the value of closing stock comparable? Not at all comparable. So which essay tells that you need to take responsibility for that? Essay 510 will take the responsibility? Will essay 510 take responsibility for this? If I was also the auditor last year also, this year also, but closing stock valuation method has changed. Will essay 510, under 510 will take the responsibility, or under 710 will take the responsibility? Tell me quickly. 510, you only told me could be, it is only for new appointment. I was auditor of last year also. Last year also I was auditor. This year also I am auditor. So SA 510 is applicable. Is SA 510 applicable? If I was auditor last year also, if I am auditor this year also, but the company's financial statements when presented beside each other is not properly showing accounting policy change. So will SA 510 be applicable? No. Then which essay will be applicable? Essay 710. So comparative information, it is divided into two main things. Corresponding figures and comparative financial statement. This essay is divided into two things, and it is usually for both initial plus recurring. It is for everything. It is for any situation in which there is a comparative figure. Okay. But SA 510 is only for what? It is only for first assignment. It is only for new appointment. Okay. This is for your logical understanding. There is no question that is there in the book that what is the difference between SA 510 and what is SA 710. But do you think you should know this? Because you will feel, ma'am, and there also the points were same, here also you're telling me the same points, then why are there two essays? So it is to make your fundamentals strong so that you know what is the difference. All right. But there is no theory question like this, that what is the difference between essay 510 and essay 710. All right. Now we'll study 510 in detail. Let's first come to first type of comparative information, corresponding figures. Here it is repeated, okay? As an auditor, what is my responsibility? My responsibility is to see opening balances are correctly brought forward. Accounting policies are consistent, same points. But the main thing is that when I am writing corresponding figures of 2023-24 and 2024 and 25, this figure is read only figure. This is what? Read only. The main thing, the main guy is, one second. Yeah, the main guy is this guy. This is our main guy. I am auditing this year only, but I am putting previous year's figure just for comparison. Am I giving an opinion on previous year? Am I giving an opinion on previous year? No. I am giving opinion on only current year. Okay. So here you can write opinion on only current year financial statements. Okay. I'm giving opinion on only current year financial statements. This is what is majorly used in our mainstream. Okay. So all the audit reports that you see online that are public documents, they are majorly, all of us that I have also seen majorly are corresponding figures. But there is one more thing that is available as an option, and that is very rare unless and until there are some special circumstance of audit, in some special audit or some special law, where opinion is on all the periods in financial statement. So comparative financial statements are a rarity. It is only done when someone specifically demands it or there is a special requirement for it, in which financial statements are for suppose 2 years or 3 years, and the auditor has to give opinion on each year, even if it was audited previously. Even if audited previously. So this is the special thing about comparative. What is the major difference? This is the most common question out of this essay. That in which type of figures we give only opinion on current year, corresponding figures. In which type do we give opinion on all the periods? That is comparative financial statements. Is everyone clear? This is the main difference. That much you can remember? Okay. Now let's come to corresponding figures. Here, we only give opinion on what? On current year financial statements, okay? On current year financial statements. Now, I'll ask you questions, you have to give me answer. Suppose, I am going to ask you questions. Suppose prior period financial statement had some modification and it is still unresolved. It is still unresolved. So previous year auditor, or I was the auditor or someone else was the auditor, there was some modification in previous year. Some error was there. Maybe the fixed assets were not valued correctly, or the inventory was not valued correctly, or all the data were not shown. There is some modification in last year's audit report. And that matter is still not resolved. Can that affect current year's opinion? Can prior periods issues affect current year's opinion? Yes, ma'am. Pooja has also said yes. Ashlesha has said yes. Kuldeep has said yes. So, does it mean that I give opinion on only current year in corresponding figures? But if there is a modification in the prior year period and it is still unresolved, can it affect current year opinion? Can affect current year opinion, and accordingly auditor has to modify current year. Everyone clear? Everyone clear? Okay. Now what if prior period was unmodified? Everything was okay. The previous year auditor has said everything is okay. Even if you were auditor, you have said everything is okay. But in current year, you find sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding material misstatement in prior period financial statements, okay? Prior period was unmodified. You are auditing current year. But while you were obtaining sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding opening balances or you were doing accounting policy verification, you are checking. And during doing your normal procedure of current year, you come across some material misstatement in prior period items and it is not resolved by the management properly. Can you still can current year be modified because of that? Can current year opinion be modified because of that? Yes, ma'am. Yes, it can be. If it is affecting, see, any opening, if the closing balance is wrong, will the opening balance be wrong? So if previous year, what do we check mostly? Balances and accounting policy. So if the closing balance was wrong, automatically opening balance was wrong. It means automatically current year's figures are also affected. Simple. Everyone clear? So these situations, are you clear? Okay. Now, in comparative financial statements, pay attention. Okay. Suppose you are auditing all prior periods which are already audited, before. Okay. They are already audited before. Now, suppose you are checking some items from 2023-24 and that time the auditor said unmodified. But when you are auditing now being audited, you are saying it should be modified. So you have found some misstatements and you are saying that year in which we gave opinion, it is not correct. I have found some problems. What will you do? You will inform TCWG and management. You'll tell them, boss, I have found this problem. But let's not directly jump the gun and put this in the report. What you do, I am telling you, you go and approach predecessor auditor of 2023-24. Okay. You approach him, you tell him this is what the current auditor has found and ask if he is willing to revise and issue new audit report. Firstly, it should be permitted by law and regulation to revise. If it is permitted by law and regulation, ask the predecessor auditor, will you issue a new audit report? Predecessor auditor says, yes, okay, I'll give a new audit report. Then the current year auditor will not modify. Is that clear? So if there has been a revised report issued after you inform the predecessor auditor that in 2023-24 I was checking, this has been found. TCWG management has informed him. He's agreeing with what I have found out. He's ready to revise it. Then the current year auditor need not say, because now the previous year report is also modified. So you don't have to point it out or change your opinion in the report. Is that clear to everyone? This is very, very rare, huh? You will not find all this normally happening in Companies Act and all. If there is some special audit required, then only you will see all this. Because usually in our normal Income Tax Act, Companies Act, there is very limited period in which you can revise. Okay. So comparative financial statements are not very common. Done. So this is the main thing I wanted to explain to you. Now can I go on notes? Everything is basic, is clear to everyone? Just to quickly give you a revision, corresponding figures, comparative financial statement, essay number 710. Essay number 710, comparative information, corresponding figures and comparative financial statement. Okay. Remember this. The name of the essay is comparative information. And the two types of comparative information are corresponding figures and comparative financial statements. Both are different. Don't get confused. Essay name is comparative information, corresponding figures, and comparative financial statement. So comparative financial statement is a type of comparative information. Ashlesha's question is, what will be the effect on filing? You'll have to do the filing also again if audit report is revised. If previous auditor is the same person as of now, then you can yourself modify the report. Is that clear, Saipa? Saipa Virali. What's your name? Is it Saipa or is it Virali? Okay. Anyone else? Any question? Virali. Okay, Virali. Okay. So I'll go to the notes now. All right. I've made very nice, easy notes for you. So you can easily do it. Everyone can see my screen? Okay. I've changed the screen. All right. So essay 710 talks about comparative information, that is corresponding figures. Remember, here it's information, here it's financial statements. Don't make this mistake. Okay, many students make this mistake. You don't make that mistake. Corresponding figures, opinion on current period only. Opinion can refer to each period in the financial statements. General audit procedure. Okay, these are general audit procedures. That comparative information, whatever you have included, it should be as per AFRF, it should be properly qualified, and auditor should evaluate that it agrees with amount and disclosure of prior period. I showed you that example of inventory, right? Current year I'm doing LIFO, previous year is FIFO. So is that a comparable list? No. So I have to evaluate that whether the amounts and disclosures of prior period are properly comparable to current year. And you have to check whether accounting policies are consistent, and if changed, whether it's properly accounted and properly presented and disclosed. All right. Now, if auditor becomes aware that there is some material misstatement possible in comparative information, then do some additional audit procedures and find if sufficient appropriate audit evidence that if material misstatements still exist. So I am checking, I am doing my normal comparative information verification. I come to know that there is some misstatement in comparative information. I have to perform additional audit procedures and see if I can find evidence that if that material misstatement still exists in the current year. If you are also previous auditor, which means you only checked last year also, you are only checking this year also, see whether you fulfilled your responsibility of SA 560. What was SA 560? Can anyone tell me what was SA 560? Subsequent events. Subsequent events. Do you remember now? Events occurring after the date of balance sheet. Okay? Events occurring after the date of balance sheet. Okay. So if you are the previous auditor also, then you have to remember whether it is a subsequent event and accordingly you have to work. So next, obtain written representation. What is essay number 580? Obtain written representation for all periods referred in the opinion. What does it mean? All of you have studied prior period items, AS5. Do you know about it? Do you know about it? Basics. Yes, ma'am. Now tell me this, if I am the auditor and I am the auditor of 2024-25 and there are some prior period item in my P&L that is of 2022-23. Can I ask current year's management? Suppose current year's management is PQR. These three are the main partners. But in 2022-23, it was XYZ. They were the partners. Firm went through a full change. So now the partners have changed. The main management has changed. But there is a prior period item of 2022-23 in my current year's financial statement of 2024-25. Who is the management right now? PQR. Who was the management in 2022-23? XYZ. Where is this item coming in my current year financial statements? Can I ask PQR to give me written representation for prior period item of 2022-23? This is my question. Can I ask PQR to give me written representation for prior period item of 2022-23? No, I am receiving 2-3 answers. Anyone else would like to contribute? Yes, Kuldeep is saying, Virendra is saying no, Tanu is saying no. Who else? Anyone else participate? I can see many more people only from XYZ. But XYZ is long gone. They have sold off the company. They are living in Dubai, having fun. They are not in this business anymore. They have sold off the company to PQR. PQR is the new management. How will I go to XYZ? Yes, I can ask for written representation from current management for all the prior period items that are part of current year. Again, listen, I can ask the current year management for all the written representations regarding all the prior periods that are part of current year. What is the logic behind it, ma'am? Why are you doing this to PQR people? These people will say, we were not there in 2022-23. Why are you making us give the written representation? I will say, you were not there in 2022-23. Okay. But you purchased this company, you took over this company, and when you took over the company, balance sheet and P&L had these items, which means you are management of the company in this year, right? This P&L has an item from 2020 to 23. You are management of current year, right? Yes. You are management of 2024-25. With your permission only, with your approval only, a prior period item must have been given effect as per AS5 in current year, yes or no? If you didn't agree with it, why did you make it a part of P&L of current year? If you did not have any knowledge about it, why is it showing in your P&L of current year as prior period item? So if you have agreed to show it as a prior period item in the current year, then you are also responsible for it. So any prior periods that are showing in the entity in the current year's financial statement, you are responsible for all the years that are being shown. So if in current year, there are 6 prior period items, even 10-year-old prior period items, will the current team be responsible for it? Will the current team be responsible for it? Yes, remember this. SA 580 ka very important point. Very important point from case study and MCQ point of view. Okay? Okay, let's go. So, this point now you understood? So what does this SA 710 say? That if you want, you can obtain SA 580, which means you can obtain written representation for all periods referred in audit opinion. And you can even obtain specific SA 580 for any prior period item separately disclosed in current year's P&L. I want you to specifically give me a written representation for the 2022-23 item of 30 lakh rupees. You write and give me why it is shown as prior period item. Can I ask it? Absolutely yes. So these are some general audit procedures of comparative information. Comparative information means for both corresponding and comparative. Okay. So comparative information means you check properly that as per AFRF, everything is properly classified. It agrees with amounts and disclosures of prior period and accounting policies are consistent. Then if auditor becomes aware of any material misstatement in comparative information, do additional audit procedures. See if misstatement still exists. And if you yourself were previous year auditors and there is a misstatement, do procedures as per SA 560. Next, you can obtain written representation for all the periods referred in the audit opinion, and you can even ask for specific written representation for any prior period items separately disclosed in current year's P&L. Next, we'll see individually. Okay, let's see corresponding figures. Very small essay. Okay, students, compare corresponding figures, which means amounts and disclosures of previous year are included in current year as read only as per the relevance to current year. This I told you already, that in corresponding figures, the previous year figures, we don't give any opinion. They are just read only. Opinion on only current year, except, see this. If prior period was modified, still unresolved, then modify current year. This chart will give you 4 case study questions. This I have made for you. It will give you what to do in 4 situations. First situation, prior period, there was modified opinion, still unresolved, modify current opinion. Prior period, unmodified opinion, you obtain some evidence that misstatements exist in previous year. Verify material misstatement properly dealt with. If not, issue adverse or qualified opinion in current year due to prior period. Do you remember I've already taught this to you? I've already taught this 2 situations. Prior period, unmodified opinion, still unresolved, modify current year. Prior period, unmodified opinion, I find some evidence that there is some material misstatement, it is still not resolved, give adverse or qualified opinion. If prior period is unaudited, then we have to follow SA 510. If prior period was unaudited, then what do we have to follow? SA 510. And where we have to write that prior period was unaudited? Other matter. Which SA is other matter? Which SA is other matter? If prior period is unaudited, we have to follow SA 510 and other matter as per 706 we just studied. So if prior period is unaudited, then follow SA 510 procedures plus do other matters as per 706. And if prior period was audited by a predecessor auditor, then again make what? If prior period was audited by someone else and you are auditing current year, then make again an other matter paragraph. State fact that someone else audited it, what opinion they gave and why, and the date of the report. Everyone clear? So if someone else has audited the previous year, should we make an other matter paragraph? Yes. So if a question comes in exam, the previous year figures were unaudited or previous year figures were audited by a predecessor auditor. The auditor wants to mention this fact in audit report. Where can auditor mention it? Key audit matter paragraph, other matter paragraph, emphasis of matter paragraph, none of the above. What is the correct answer? Just like these questions are made, other matter paragraph. Done. Easy. See how different essays come together. In essay 710, we have studied 710. Essay 510 reference is there. 706 reference is there. 705 reference is there. 560 references there. 580 references there. Can you see? Now all essays have started coming together. They refer each other. Okay. Then come to comparative financial statements. Comparative financial statements means we are giving audit opinion for each period. When reporting on prior period, if opinion differs than previously expressed, disclose reasons in OM paragraph. Okay. So when you're reporting on prior period and your opinion is different from previously expressed, then disclose reasons in other matter paragraph. If prior period was done by a predecessor auditor and current year auditor sees that a material misstatement exists that is affecting previous year, and the predecessor auditor gave which opinion? Unmodified opinion. Then communicate TCWG and management to inform predecessor auditor. If prior period financial statements are amended and new audit report is issued, then report on only current period. This I've already taught you. Nothing new. And if prior period financial statements were unaudited, same. Other matter paragraph and SA 510. Finished. Khatam. That's it. This is your comparative information. Comparative information, corresponding figures, and comparative financial statement. Any doubts till now? I'll upload these notes, okay? But you need to write on your own also, okay? You won't remember by reading. Unless and until you write, you can't remember. Can I move ahead? Everyone clear? Clear, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. Very good. Sure, sure. I'll do that, Virali. I'll do that. I'll upload, okay? Ma'am, provide screenshot of essay. Essay screen, it will not come in one go, dear student. It will not come in one go. It's long, it's 2 pages. You want like this? You want to take like this? This is 1 page. Okay. Okay, first take like this. First take this much. Done. Start saying quickly done. Then I'm moving to next. One screenshot done. Next. Second. Second is done. Third. Third. And fourth. Done, Harsh? Everyone else also? My speed is okay for you, all of you? Speed of teaching is okay for all of you? All done. So we are finished with essay number 706 and 710. With this, we have completed 700 series. Okay. We have done essay number 700, 701, 705, 706, and 710. Let's quickly remember the names. 700 was about what? Forming an opinion and reporting on financial statements. Okay. What was 701? Key audit matters in independent auditor's report. What was 705? Modifications to opinion in independent auditor's report. What was 706? Emphasis of matter paragraph and other matters paragraph. What was 710? Comparative information, that is corresponding figures and comparative financial statements. Okay. So we are done with 700 series. Yes, Harsh, good idea. So Harsh is saying by taking screenshot, it seems like homework. So after I do take the screenshot, I write from the screenshot, so it helps me revise. That's why I'm asking for screenshot. It's a good idea, Harsh. It's a good idea. All right. So now I'm moving on to the next topic. One second, students. I don't know what is the issue. Okay. Done. All right. So I'll just continue in the above notes. There's some issue that's happening. Yeah, this zooming in is not happening. So I'll just explain here, then we'll go to the notes. Okay. Now, next topic, pay attention. Let's imagine that there is a big MNC or a big bank. Okay. They're a big bank. They have multiple types, thousands of branches, crores of business, complicated transactions, lakhs of manpower, lot of big volume size of the business. Okay. Now, this company wants you to do the audit. Okay. Now, when you are appointed auditor of such a large organization, imagine organizations like insurance companies, banks, big companies like Amazon or maybe Reliance, such big voluminous companies. When they appoint you as an auditor, you might feel very overwhelmed with the amount of work you need to do. So even if I am a good auditor, I can only know a certain type of thing. So as you grow older as a CA, you become specialist in certain things. So someone will be excellent in bank audits. Someone will be really, really good in company audits. Someone would be very good at foreign exchange and FEMA related transactions. Someone might be very good at transfer pricing. Someone might be very good at IND-AS and IFRS. So over a period of time, you become specialized and your company or your CA firm has people who have those specializations. And yet you can be made auditor of such a company in which it is impossible for you to do it alone. And that's why companies can appoint something called as joint auditors. Companies can appoint something called as joint auditors, which means more than one auditor for same financial year. Okay. So the company is saying that I am appointing ABC. You are very good with branch audits. Our company has a lot of branch and lot of stock. But I'm auditing PQR and associates also because they are really good at transfer pricing, valuation, and goodwill. So company wants to take advantage of different specializations. It's called as pooling of resources. Pooling of resources or expertise It's pooling of resources and expertise. Why are we pooling all this? So that we can consult with each other. We can consult with each other. When we consult with each other, we can give better services to our client. Why it will be better? Because you are good at what you do, I am good at what I do. Let's combine our expertise so that the audit report is very good, so that the client knows that they are in good hands. If we provide better services, why are we able to provide better services? Because we have reduced our workload. Why have we reduced our workload? Because you are focusing on what you can do. I am focusing on what I can do. So automatically my workload has reduced so much. Okay. It also reduces costs that I have to incur. I will now incur what area I am handling. You will incur what you are handling. It also reduces staff development cost. Why? Because if I have to teach my staff about transfer pricing, so much money I have to put to develop and put their knowledge about transfer pricing. Instead, I will do what I know. You already are specialist in transfer pricing, so I don't have to spend a lot of money in training my own staff to learn about transfer pricing. We'll continue to do what we are good at. So overall, the joint audit works very well, and especially it is very good for MNCs. What happens if it is a company that was originated in a foreign country and they are already very huge in size? Suppose they are opening a new plant near Hyderabad. So they want to appoint only best, biggest CAs in the country. But that is a very small village in Hyderabad. Do you also think it will be good if they have a local auditor? Suppose they have big shot auditor. But who will be good at local laws, local information? Who will be better at local information? Big shot auditor who lives in Mumbai will be good, or the local CA will be good? The local CA who knows about how things work in Andhra Pradesh, how things work in Hyderabad. So you can take advantage of both global and local. Okay. So it's global, local advantage and MNC can take. All this has been possible. Why? Because joint auditors are allowed. Now, companies started appointing joint auditors. So, do you think we should have some regulation, some standard to follow if we are in a situation of joint audit? Do you think there should be a standard that tells us what to do if there is joint auditor? So, do you think this essay should exist? Do you think this essay is important to exist? And that is why was born essay number 299, Responsibilities of Joint Auditor. Okay, responsibilities of joint audit. Now you understand the importance. If this does not exist, there can be so much chaos, there can be so much blame game, there could be so many problems, right? But this exists so that these problems don't exist, so that we can all work together properly. So basic, I'll give you what this essay talks about. Firstly, it says, suppose 4 joint auditors are appointed. Okay, 4 joint auditors are appointed. Now they decide that one will take care of all expenses. Second will take care of all income. Third will take care of all the notes and disclosures. And fourth will take care of all the assets and liabilities. So the very important thing in joint audit is divide your work. Okay. So suppose there are 4 auditors. PQR and company, ABC and company, XYZ and company, DEF and company. Okay. So like this, work has been divided. Now they have finished the audit. After they have finished the audit, there was some huge misstatement found in income part. Huge misstatement found in income part when income tax scrutiny happened. Okay, some inspection happened and they found huge problem in income. Now, they divided the work amongst themselves. They divided the work amongst themselves, but they never documented it. They did not write it down that who's responsible for what. Now, inspection has found some problem in income. Who had done the income work? ABC and company. ABC and company has done the income work. But who will become responsible because of the misstatement found in income? Whether all four will become responsible or only ABC and company will become responsible. All four, ma'am. Why all four? Why all four? If it is a P&L, is all four signing or one is signing on income side, one is signing on expense side, or all four are signing? All four are signing. But if they had documented, signed, plus sent to TCWG and management, if they had done the whole process, then who would have been responsible? If they had properly documented division of work and it mentioned that ABC and company did income, then who will be responsible? Then who teaches us that we should document division of work? Who tells us that you should, whenever you divide any work, you should document it? Essay 299. So you understand the importance of this essay? You understand the importance? It creates that who is responsible for what. Okay. So what is the first most important thing that essay 299 says? Document division of work plus send it to TCWG and management. Okay. But what if one CA firm, second CA firm, and three CA firm is saying that it should be unmodified opinion, and fourth auditor says, I think it should be qualified opinion. What do we do then? What report will be issued? Will we issue what kind of report? If 1, 2, 3 are saying unmodified opinion and one auditor is saying qualified opinion, so do we do majority wins? Do we have to do majority wins? Or do we do because qualified, then qualified is there? They have discussed, Ashlesha. They have discussed. Fourth is saying, I think it's qualified only. 1, 2, 3 are saying it is qualified only. They have discussed everything. Archana is saying qualified. Tanu is saying majority wins. What else? What is the other opinion? Everyone else is giving disclaimer of opinion. They're not giving any opinion to me. Ashlesha is saying unmodified opinion. Anyone else? Any ideas you have? Okay. So you know what we'll do? Essay 299 says two separate reports. Two separate reports. You cannot do majority wins in this. You cannot do majority wins, which means 1, 2, and 3 will make one report. Fourth will make a separate report. 1, 2, 3 will say unmodified. Fourth will say modified. But what if this report goes to a few people? This report goes to another few people. These people think it's modified opinion. These people think it's unmodified opinion. ये तो गलत हो गया. This तो is wrong. What do you think will be the solution? Use your essay knowledge, which I taught you today. Let me see if you're able to. 1, 2, 3 will give modified, unmodified opinion. Fourth will give modified opinion. But 1, 2, 3 will go to some people. Modified will go to some people. What to do now? How can you, if some people get both reports, they'll also be confused, ma'am. This report will have other matter paragraph about this report. This report will have other matter paragraph about this report. Do you understand? A report will have other matter paragraph where it will clearly say that there is a secondary audit report that exists. And B report will also have another matter paragraph that one report exists which has been given by other 3 auditors. Now is it clear? See how all your essay knowledge is coming together. Hai na? Is it not interesting? So who tells we can do this? Essay number 299. Everyone clear? What will company do, madam? Poor company has 2 reports. They can't do anything. They'll have to deal with it. They'll have to upload it. Essay 299 does not tell what will happen of the company. It only tells what I have to do. That's it. Is that clear? Okay. Clear, ma'am. Clear. Absolutely. Okay. Perfect. So this is the basic of essay 299. Other matter paragraph is very important. Yes. What did I tell you? Other matter paragraph is for 3 things. Anything about audit, anything about audit report, and anything about auditor responsibility. Jahan pe bhi, wherever I have to tell something regarding my audit report, and my audit responsibility, where is the place to tell it? Other matters paragraph. पिछले साल audit नहीं था, other matter paragraph. Previous year other person audited, other matter paragraph. There is one more audit report, other matter paragraph. Pooja is saying, ma'am, in this case user may be confused without a doubt, and it will raise question also in the mind of, so if Pooja, you are wanting to invest in a company in which you come to know that they use joint auditor and one joint auditor gave a modified opinion report, of course you'll become careful about that company. It also shows a failure on the part of management to convince the other joint auditor that there is no qualification, which means they were not able to prove or provide sufficient appropriate audit evidence, and that is why that fellow has given qualified opinion. So it also brings into question the role of management. An auditor will never ever lightly give a modified opinion. We take a lot of care before we ever give a modified opinion because we have to give reason. You remember SA 700? If we ever give modified opinion, we have to give reason that why we are giving modified opinion. So auditors are always very careful. They will never just like that do this. Anil is asking, ma'am, how it's possible? I mean, different opinion between joint auditors. It is very possible. Most of your audit is auditor's judgment. Something that is material for me may not be material for you, Anil. Sometimes, many times, if I go for audit, many times the management tells me that previous auditor didn't have any problem. Why are you creating a problem? So each auditor's judgment is very different. For someone, material for you, Anil, materiality can be very different than me. If you have only seen iPhones in your life and you go to a government company and they have distributed iPhones, low level model to all their employees, you'll say, yeah, iPhone is the basic phone. But I have only seen that 10,000, 5,000 rupee phone, and I think iPhone is a very luxurious item. I will say, no, this appears to be improper. this appears to be some problem. So I will do more detail and more audit evidence finding in that. So it is very material. It is very subjective. And that is why different opinions can exist. Is that clear? Okay. I don't think anyone else has any doubt. Okay. What do you think are problems of being with auditing with other people? What do you think are the problems? I to told you what are the good things about auditing. One second, where did it go? Yeah. I told you all the good things about having joint audit. If I put five different auditors, four different audit firms together to work, what do you think can be the problems? Difference in opinions, of course. If in this MNC there is a big shot auditor and a local auditor, can there be ego issues? Can one have superiority complex? Hey, we know better. We have better softwares. We have big offices than you. We have more team than you. We have more experience than you. So can there be superiority, inferiority problems? Yes. So there can be a lot of clashes because of that. There can be superiority, inferiority problem. Then can it happen that some people, there could be some common areas. So even if you divide audit, some things are common area of audit. So if common areas of audit is there, A will think B will do, B will think C will do, C will think D will do, D will think E will do, and then no one does it. Can that happen? If I don't give, suppose I tell you, students, any one of you bring a module marked for me tomorrow. Any one of you, suppose we are in a proper classroom and I tell one of you bring a study material for me. Archana will think Anil will bring. Anil will think Ashlesha will bring. Why do I need to bring? Ashlesha will think Pooja will bring. And at the end tomorrow, no one has brought and I don't have the module in my hand. Can that happen? Common areas can be neglected. Common areas can be neglected or no one takes responsibility and liability. No one takes responsibility and liability. Then someone said fees reduction, madam. Yes, reduced fees. If I would have done the audit alone, I would have gotten the whole fees. But now I have to share the fees with five other people. That can also be a problem. So joint audit has its advantages, but it also has some disadvantages. But if at the start of the audit, you communicate effectively, you talk to each other properly, you plan the audit properly, you document everything properly, then you can reduce the risk of problems. Is that clear? So if you talk and communicate properly, document properly, divide properly, allocate responsibility properly, then of course this risk we can reduce. Okay. Usually in joint audit, there is a common engagement letter. You remember engagement letter as per SA 210? So each auditor will not be given a separate engagement letter. In single engagement letter only, all four auditors' name would be written. Okay. So there will be a common engagement letter. And usually there is common management representation letter. Virali is saying if advantages are more than disadvantages, it can be good for joint auditors. Very good. There will always be some disadvantages, but are benefits more than the disadvantages? Then we should look at benefits and try to make it work. Ma'am, how can individual auditor withdraw from engagement if it, that's okay. All of you are given engagement letter jointly. But if you want to resign, I can give my individual resignation letter. Not all four needs to resign. Common engagement letters logic is that everyone should get same thing. Management cannot give you a different engagement letter with different terms and conditions and me a different engagement letter with different terms and conditions. The terms and conditions for all four auditors should be same. But if I want to resign, I don't want to work, that's my wish. All right, everyone. Do you need a break now? One or two people have said we need break, ma'am. Technical team will have a 5-minute break. We can start. Okay. Students, quickly give me your attendance that you are back. Tell me which city you are watching this lecture from. And this will also give us a quickly coming back to the lecture. Tell me which city you guys are watching from. Interesting. Many different places. Okay. So you all are active. You are all present. Oh, nice. Good to know all the places you are from. Great. Covering from north to south, east to west. Great. All right. So let's come back to the lecture. So where were we? All right. Okay. So where were we? We were at audit, joint audit. So I explained the whole joint audit to you. I have told you why it is done, what are the basic overall advantages, what are the overall disadvantages, what to do, how to divide the work. You have to document the division of the work, send it to TCWG and management. If the joint auditors differ in their opinion, then you have to give two separate reports. All right. So all these points we have finished. Now we'll look at the notes. Okay. So now let's look at the notes. I've again made notes for the whole essay in around 2 to 3 pages for you. Very easy to understand, very easy to learn. Joint audit. All right. Everyone, pay attention. Joint audit. What does it talk about? First we are studying it as a concept. Okay. Forget essay 299. First, let's understand the concept. It means pooling together. All keywords I have already explained to you. Once you have the whole essay in your mind, it's very easy to study theory. Okay. Now you have understood the essay. Now let's see the theory of the essay. Okay. So what does joint audit means? It's pooling together two things. Resources. Resources means you have some people, I have some people. You have some softwares, I have some softwares. And also pooling together expertise. You have certain knowledge, I have certain knowledge. So you are sharing the work by more than one auditor. What are the advantages? Mark all the whole essay. The essay that I have taught you today, essay 706, 710, 299. You cannot leave anything in that essay. This joint audit also, advantages, disadvantages were recently asked, not even 1 year back. Okay. These are all very important. Don't even ask me that what is important, ma'am. Everything that we are studying, it is pure essays. So essays are always important. Okay. And plus this essay, especially because the whole audit report chapter has good amount of weightage, has a lot of essays, and all essays are important. Okay. So what are the advantages? You have to use these keywords in exam. If you just write in your own words, you will not get marks. Okay. These keywords need to be used properly. Okay. If you want to get full 5 out of 5. Second mistake I see a lot of students do. So suppose this is point number 1, this is point number 2, point number 3, 4, 4 and 5 this has, 6, 7, 8. Now suppose in exam this question is asked for only 4 marks. Now you tell me, will you write 4 points or will you write all 8 points? The question is write down advantages of joint audit. It is asked for 4 marks. Will you write 4 points or 8 points? You have to write all 8 points. You have to write all 8 points. If you write only 4 points, it means you have written 50% answer. Is that clear? So even if your 4 points are fully correct, out of 4 marks, you'll get 2 marks. Don't look at that if it is 4 marks, I have to write 4 points. Write down whatever the whole answer is. So if advantages of joint audit is 8 advantages are there in joint audit, write 8. Even if it's for 3 marks, you should write all 8 points because those are the advantages of joint audit. Is that clear? Unless and until question specifically limits that how many points you should write, you should always complete the answer. So, do you remember I told you all this? If you have joint audit, full marks can be obtained. Of course it can be obtained. Not 100, I'm not talking about 100 out of 100, but individual questions, yes, you can obtain full marks. Okay? Because these are straightforward, direct questions. These are straightforward questions. Here you can obtain marks. So what are the advantages? First, better quality of performance. Ma'am, if we use keyword and sentence as per our understanding, is that okay? Yes. See, we cannot memorize 1,000 pages each sentence. But your sentence should have certain quality of writing. It cannot be like a very childish 10 standard style writing. Even if you use all the keywords, sentence should be grammatically properly correct. Is that clear, Ashlesha? We cannot memorize each sentence of the whole 1,000 pages. Even if you are using audit is like language exam. You need to be good at the way audit is written. You need to understand audit, but you also need to be able to communicate. Okay. If I am very good at understanding audit, suppose I am a very, very big shot auditor, but if I am not able to communicate to you SA 299, will it be of any use to you? I'm a very big shot auditor. I have done many, many joint audits, but I can't explain to you SA 299 in correct words. Will you be okay with it? Are you okay with me? Will you not be okay with it? So any subject demands language, even law demands language. Okay, let's come back. So what are the advantages? First is if I have multiple people working together, we can give this numbering I just gave for sample. Okay, you can remove this. Now let's go to actual. Start with this. Start with this. What is at first major advantage of joint audit? It's in the starting only. It is pooling and sharing. What happens when we pool and share? We give better quality. How do we give better quality? Because we can discuss with each other. If we can discuss with each other, who gets better services? Clients get better services. And clients are getting this as services at lower cost. And we are doing the services at lower staff development cost. Because of which our workload also becomes less. So 3 points in lower. Lower workload, lower cost, lower staff development cost. Okay. And who all can take advantages of this? MNC with expertise of local firms. Forget this. Tell me the answer. First, pooling and sharing. Okay. First, what was the point? It helps in pooling and sharing expertise. What happens when we pool and share expertise? We give better performance. Why do we give better performance? Because we are able to do mutual consultation. What happens when we do mutual consultation? We give better service to the clients. Why are we able to do? How we are able to do? Because there is lower cost, lower workload. So no one is stressing out. Everyone is doing what they are allotted, and lower staff development cost. And hence, even MNC can take advantage by using local firms. Can you remember like this? Is the flow clear? What we do, we pool all the expertise. Because of that, we give better performance. Because of better, why are we able to give better performance? Then it should be able to do mutual consultation. Then what happens if we give mutual consultation? It gives better service. How we are able to give better service? Lower cost, lower workload, lower staff development cost. And even MNC can use. This question in your book also has this much only. So if I'll show you your book, it does not have big sentences. Can you see? Your book also does not have big sentences. Small, small points only. That's why the thing I have given you has all the important things. Is that clear? So I have not reduced anything from the book. Is your doubt clear? Who asked me? Pooja. Okay. Is your doubt clear, Pooja? Can I move on to? Another thing? Okay, ma'am. All right. So, memorize, fully memorized. Again, without seeing with me. Okay. You do at your home like I am doing here. Advantages of joint audit. What happens when advantage? We pool all the expertise. What happens when we pool all the expertise? We give better performance. Why are we giving better performance? Good advantages of mutual consultation. What happens when we do mutual consultation? We are able to give better services to the client. Why is there better services to the client? Because there is lower staff development cost, lower cost, and lower workload. What happens when there is lower workload? Simple, MNCs and local firms can also use it. Done? So this part is completed. I'm doing the effort to make you memorize in the class, okay? Now, what are the disadvantages? Again, it can come as a direct question in exam. What are the disadvantages of joint audit? First, I told you, it is very common. The most common disadvantage is superiority complex and different standing of the firms. What does these 2 points means? Can anyone tell what does it mean by different standing of audit firms? Different standing. It means some might be older, some might be young, some might be very, very well known in their field. Someone might be very local, only locally known, but not nationally known, is called as different standing. Is that clear? Yes, level of experience could not complement. Very good. So if there is a different standing, what happens? People can get what? If there is different standing of audit firms, people can get what? Superiority complex. And if there is superiority complex, will they coordinate properly? No. So coordination problem happens. If coordination problem happens, which means some areas will get neglected. If there is negligence, there is uncertainty that he will say, no, you are responsible. He will say, no, you are responsible. So if negligence happens, liability happens. And the last is you have to share fees. So first 5 points, you can go in a flow. What is the flow? What are the disadvantages? First disadvantage is the firms can be of different standing, because of which some people can get superiority complex. When some people get superiority complex, they may not coordinate properly with other someone. When coordination does not happen properly, some areas can get neglected. And if neglection happens, there becomes uncertainty that who is responsible for what. And then after doing all this also, some people have done more work, less work, but they have to share the fees. Everyone clear? Advantage, disadvantage, memorized? याद हो गया? The flow that I have told you, follow that flow, you will never forget. Create a story in your mind. Okay? Remember in this flow. All right. Great. Now let's come to essay 299, joint audit of financial statements. Each answer here is very, very important. Okay? Each answer here is very, very important. First thing, just write like this. Audit planning. Then this is strategy. This full part is strategy. Then there is risk of material misstatement. Then this is audit procedures. Then like this both. After everything is decided, communications. First, before seeing it as a lengthy answer, let's see it as first main points answer. Okay, then we'll see the detailed answer. Ma'am, sharing of fees is equal or it depends on allocation? Depends on allocation. Or it can be pre-decided by management also. It depends on the situation. There is no hard and fast law for it. Okay. So it depends on mutual agreement between joint auditors and management. Once I complete essay 299, then I will show you as the whole comment. Okay. I'll show you the whole screenshot. Then you can take, sorry, I'll show you the whole screen and then you can show the screenshot. First, I want to complete the essay 299. First, special considerations. What is the question? Special considerations under essay 299. What all we have to take care of. First, remember first primary points. First point is about audit planning. Second point is plan is made, then you make strategy. After you make strategy, you identify and assess risk of material misstatement. According to risk of material misstatement, you perform audit procedures and then you do communications. Okay. These are the first main points you remember. Now we'll do each point individually. You tell me, when we are planning for joint audit, do all joint auditors have to be involved, or the senior joint auditor will decide for all the joint auditors that I have made the plan, you all follow it? The main senior guy will say, I have made the plan, you all follow it. Or does everyone have to be involved in planning? All joint auditors need to be involved. So what is the first point? What is EP? What is this short form of? Can anyone guess? EP means what? Can anyone guess? Engagement partner. Archana, perfect. So engagement partner of each joint auditor plus other key members of each joint auditor will be involved in planning of audit. First thing SA 299 clarifies, each team will be involved. Then they will establish overall audit strategy to decide scope, timing, and direction of audit and development of audit plan. You know where you have studied all this? You have studied whole point by point. This whole answer you have studied in essay 300, I think chapter number 2. Audit strategy, audit planning chapter is there, na? You have studied all this already. So you have to establish audit strategy to create scope, timing, and direction and development of audit plan. How to develop audit plan? First, identify division of audit areas and common audit areas. This you will do, this we will do together. Okay. Then ascertain reporting objectives. Okay. Why do we have to ascertain reporting objectives? So that we can have nature of communications required. Okay. What does it mean by ascertaining reporting objectives? It means, why am I doing this audit? What is the purpose? Suppose you have been appointed as stock auditor. Then what is the reporting objective in stock audit? That the valuation and existence of the stock as shown in the financial statement is correct. If you are appointed auditor, a normal statutory auditor, then our reporting objective is true and fair view of financial statements. So ascertain that why have you been made joint auditor? What is the purpose of this audit? So ascertain that. Then you have to see which factors are significant in directing engagement team's effort. It means if last year, for the first time, company became eligible for, let's say, GST, then this year I have to make the team focus on GST area. So that is called as see which factors are significant. Suppose in previous year, company acquired, take over a new company. Is that a significant area? You tell me. Suppose previous year, my company acquired and took over a new company. So if you are in my team, will I tell you that to specifically properly check this takeover valuation? All their assets became part of our balance sheet, valuation of goodwill, everything. So when we are doing planning, so suppose me, Archana and Pooja are joint auditors, okay? Archana, Pooja and me are discussing, okay, what were the significant things happened? Okay, they acquired a new company. Okay, they had they started a new product line. Okay, so Archana is saying, okay, I will ask my team to properly check the valuation of the new assets. And Pooja will say, okay, I will ask my team to properly check the new product that has been started, the machinery, the proper production and cost records, not cost records, sorry, internal control system, everything I'll ask. So that is called as to decide a plan. You have to see what factors are significant in directing engagement team's effort. Then you have to see what are the results of preliminary engagement activity and similar engagement earlier. Preliminary engagement activity you have studied already in essay 210 and similar engagement earlier. So you have to check properly that preliminary engagement activities are properly done and similar engagement. If you have done a work same as this in earlier years, whether that knowledge can be used in current year. And you have to plan that how much resources are necessary. NTE means nature, timing, and extent. Do we need 5 people team? Do we need 6 people team? Do we need articles who are in CA final last year? Do we need a fresh chartered accountant? Do we need a chartered accountant with 6 years of experience? How much time to give? Do we give 6 hours to valuation work? Do we give 1 week to valuation work? So that is called as planning the nature, timing, and extent of not audit procedures, nature, timing, and extent of resources necessary. So what all do we do in planning? To develop audit plan, what do we do? तुम्हारा क्या एरिया है, मेरा क्या एरिया है, और हमारा जॉइंटली क्या एरिया है. So identify division of work, audit areas, and common audit areas. Second, decide why are we doing this audit? What is the purpose of doing this audit? Third, what are the important events that have happened according to which I will give instructions to my team? Next, what are the results of preliminary engagement activities and similar engagement that was done earlier? And lastly, what is the nature, timing, and extent of resources necessary? So this is how you develop a joint audit plan. Okay. Okay. Plan has been developed. This I told you, na? Plan is done, strategy is done. Now, risk of material misstatement. Each joint auditor will assess risk of material misstatement and communicate with each other. So after the work is divided, you will find the risk areas of your allocation. The other person will find the risk areas of their allocation and communicate with each other. So if I am checking a new business and the stock of new business and I find some problem in it, and there is someone else who is verifying all the compliance of accounting standards, should I tell them that I found some problem in the inventory? Yes. So you have to identify and assess risk of material misstatement and communicate with each other. Then discuss and document nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures. So after RMM has been identified, identify audit procedures. Audit procedures for both common areas and allotted areas. Okay. Next, there should be common engagement letter, common work written representation letter, and there should be a proper work allocation document signed by all joint auditors and communicated to TCWG. So if you get a question in exam, what are the special considerations under essay 299? Special considerations are all the engagement partners and key members of each joint auditor should be involved in the planning of audit. Second, they should establish an overall audit strategy to determine the scope, timing, and direction and development of audit plan. Next, they should develop a joint audit plan. How to develop a joint audit plan? Identify division of areas and common areas. Ascertain why we are doing this work. Then what will my team do? Where do I ask my team to work? Then see what has been my previous experience and preliminary engagement activities, and according to that decide nature, timing, and extent of resources that are necessary. Then, so plan and strategy is done. After that, risk of material misstatement, each joint auditor assess the risk of material misstatement and communicate with each other. Then RMM is done, then audit procedures, discuss and document nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures for common and allotted areas. Then common engagement letter and common representation letter. And there should be a proper work allocate document signed by all joint auditors communicated to TCWG. Any doubt till now? This is a very important answer, okay? Everything, each thing that we are doing on screen has been asked in exam. Everything that we are doing on screen has been asked in exam. All right. Next topic. Very, very beloved. If everything is important, but if out of all the important things also, if I have to tell which is the most important, it will be this. Okay. If out of everything, if even one thing is important that you absolutely cannot be taken carelessly, that is this topic. So each joint auditor is responsible only for work allocated area. So if A and B have divided work, does B have to check A's work, or he can rely on the work done by A? Does B have to check A's work? Everyone wake up. Still 20 minutes are left. Abbreviations are notes are for your understanding only. Any abbreviation used in notes is not to be used in exam. Is that clear? That is why book plus notes. Okay. All right. So each joint auditor is responsible only for work allocated area. You don't have to check each other's work. But sometimes you can become jointly and severally responsible. In which cases? Okay. So this, like that, it can come. In which cases jointly and severally responsible. When are we jointly responsible? Okay. First, where are we jointly responsible? For audit work not divided. Simple. Where are we jointly responsible? For all the work that we did not divide, which means common areas. So for common areas planning and all the decisions, everyone is responsible. For common areas, everyone is responsible. So any work that is not divided, it becomes common audit area. Okay. This is very interesting. Suppose A is doing his job, B is doing his job, C is doing their job. C brings to A's attention that there is some material misstatement in A's work. Okay. That it is A's area. If you are auditor, okay, and you all have divided the work, okay, you have all have divided the work. C is doing his job. While doing his job, he finds some risk of material misstatement in area of A, and he communicates to everyone that I have found this, and they are agreeing that yeah, you are right. Then even if it's A's area, do all of them become responsible for it? I'm again repeating. If A, B, and C are doing the work, whatever was allotted to them, C comes to know about some risk of material misstatement in A's area of work. Okay? A's area of work. And he communicates to everyone. They all are agreeing, yes, this is correct. Then it is no more A's area of work. It will be everyone's area of work. So what is the next point in which all of them are responsible? Matters brought to the notice of joint auditors by one of them, plus if they are in agreement. Okay. Next, everyone is responsible for compliance of financial statement as per the statutes. Everyone is responsible for compliance of financial statements as per the statutes. Everyone is responsible for presentation and disclosure of financial statements as per AFRF. So if Companies Act says that balance sheet should be as per Schedule 3, then you cannot make it one person's responsibility to check whether it is as per Schedule 3. Everyone will be responsible that all the presentation and disclosure in financial statement is as per Schedule 3. Okay? And everyone is responsible for giving correct audit report as per SA, statutes, and other pronouncements of ICAI. Everyone is responsible. So you cannot say he has to see whether opinion paragraph should come after basis of opinion paragraph. No, it is everyone's responsibility that the audit report structure is correct as per SA, as per statutes, and as per pronouncements. Everyone clear? So which areas are we jointly and severally responsible? Audit report, audit work not divided, decision taken regarding planning of common audit areas, matters brought to the notice of joint auditors by one of them and the agreement between them, compliance of financial statements as per statutes, presentation and disclosure of financial statements as per AFRF, and audit report is as per SA, statutes, and pronouncements of ICAI. Everyone clear? Can I move on? All joint auditors will issue a common audit report, but if there is a disagreement, they can give separate audit report and refer each other's report in ON paragraph. Other relevant announcements means ICAI from time to time can give some notification. So suppose there is SA 700 which gives a structure of audit report, but suppose they have made some amendment, or for because COVID happened they have released some pronouncement, or when demonetization happened they have released some announcement that during this year you follow this. So that also needs to be followed. So you don't just have to follow essays, you also have to follow different notifications that are released from time to time. Is that clear, Pooja? Virali saying, do we need to write the other things that you write? No, no, no. These are just examples. Imagine that you are studying in a school. Okay. Do you remember your school time? What used to happen in school? There used to be a book in your hand, whether it's NCRT or any book. But to explain it, teacher used to write examples and flow charts and just used to explain to you things on the blackboard. Think of this as a blackboard. I am writing many things on it just for explaining. But your main thing that you have to study is the notes and the main module. Everyone is clear? Notes you can use for revision, because when I am showing you notes, I am writing a lot of extra things to explain to you. So you have to study, your module is your basic Bible, okay? And you can keep notes for revision that you can do quickly. Because when I am using notes, I'm using it so that you get the notes. I'm using it to explain it. I'm also writing extra things and explaining extra things. Is that clear? So your base is your study material is fundamental and notes are for understanding. Perfect, Kuldeep. Everyone clear? Here we are done with our essay number 299. Finished. Okay. All right. So today, as of now, we did 3 essays. Essay number 706, 710, and essay 299. Is that clear? Okay. Now, if you have any doubts till now in any of these 3 essays, you ask me, then we can move on to MCQ. Any doubts till now? Else I'll move on to MCQ. I can start a small new topic also. If you're ready to sit for extra 5-10 minutes, I can complete one more topic. What do you prefer? Yeah, I'll give you for screenshot. First, do this much. Do this much. Quickly do the screenshot, students. Next screenshot. Next, only do disadvantages. Next, do this much. Okay. This screenshot is done. Next, this much. Then last part. Finished. All screenshots done. Okay. So I'll take one more small topic. Let me first finish MCQ so that we don't have any problem in that. For this much topic, I have made MCQs, okay? So let's do that. Okay, tell me quickly. First question. Dash is a paragraph included in auditor's report that refers to matters appropriately presented and disclosed in the financial statements, that in the auditor's judgment is of such importance that it is fundamental to users' understanding of the financial statement. Which answer is correct? Emphasis of matter paragraph, other matter paragraph, key audit matter, management responsibility paragraph. Why are so many of you saying B, C? My God, what is written here? Paragraph regarding a matter that is already appropriately presented and disclosed. Something that is already appropriately disclosed. Which paragraph that is? Majority of you have given correct answer only. One or two of you have given wrong answer. So if matter is already properly presented and disclosed, it means it is emphasis of matter paragraph. Done? Next. Responsibilities of joint auditors is governed by which SA number? SA number what? 299. Very good. If prior period financial statements were not audited, the auditor shall state in auditor's report that corresponding figures were unaudited. Where will we state? In key audit matters, in basis for opinion paragraph, in emphasis of matter paragraph, or other matter paragraph? If prior period were unaudited, where will we put it? Other matters paragraph. Very good. Everyone is correct. Okay. Next. Comparative information where audit opinion refers to each period for which financial statements are presented is shown in which? Audit opinion is for each period. It's for comparative financial statements, corresponding figures, comparative financial information, or common financial statements. What is the correct answer? When opinion is given for each period, what is the correct answer? A, C, A. This. I told you 1,000 times that this is used to confuse you in exam. Whenever it is comparative information, comparative financial information, it is the main thing. It's divided into two. One is corresponding, in which opinion is only for current year. One is comparative financial statements, in which opinion can be for each period. So the correct answer is comparative financial statements. Next. XYZ and PQR and Company are two CA firms that have been appointed as joint auditors of Sweet Peas Limited for 23-24. Later, an investigation was conducted during April 2025 and observed gross understatement of revenue. The revenue aspects were looked after by PQR, but there was no documentation or division of work between the joint auditors. So liability will negligence be of only PQR, liability will be of XYZ. Both auditors will be jointly and severally responsible. No liability arises on joint auditor as company was responsible to maintain documentation. What is the correct answer? C. Perfect. How many of you scored 5 out of 5? All 5 correct answers. How many of you scored 5 out of 5? All 5 correct answers. 4 out of 5, Tanu. Kuldeep, 5 out of 5. Adil, 4. 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5. All right. 4 out of 5 is also very good. 5 out of 5, brilliant. I'm very happy. So here we are done with MCQs also. Okay. Now I'll take one small topic. We still have 10 minutes to go. It's enough for me. So I'll take the next topic. This we'll do directly from the book because we are starting with something very important that is related to Companies Act provisions regarding audit. Okay. Yeah, this all is finished. Okay. Now the law part we are starting. Okay. Now pay attention here. You tell me, have you studied little bit of company law? You have studied company law a little? Yes. What does section 128 subsection 1 says? That companies have to maintain books of accounts properly as per true and fair view, and they have to maintain it at their registered office. Have you studied this? That the books of accounts of the company needs to be maintained and registered office. If not, then you have to inform ROC within 7 days. Okay. So if you're changing the location of books of accounts to someplace else, you have to inform ROC within 7 days. But what if I'm a company like DMart? Okay. What happened? Is my screen visible or is the screen gone? I cannot see. 1 second. Huh? Just give me 1 second. Okay. So I have to inform. But what if I'm a company, let's say, that has a lot of branches? Okay. Let's say I'm a company like DMart and I have a lot of branches. In multiple cities, I have small godowns. Okay. And I have a registered office, let's say in Delhi. And here I have in Ludhiana, in Mysore, in Surat, in Coimbatore, in Mumbai, like that, different places I have branches. Now these branches will also have their books of accounts, yes or no? These branches will also have their books of accounts. Okay. So these books of accounts, now can they maintain in Delhi? They can't maintain because the business is happening in these cities. So Companies Act says that if branches are maintaining books of accounts at their branch, that is okay. But you send summarized returns periodically. Okay. You have to send summarized returns periodically. Now this periodically can be any reasonable interval, okay? It can be any reasonable interval that is decided within the company, that you have to send summarized returns once in a month, once in a quarter, okay? So if branches are maintaining their own books of accounts and if they're sending summarized returns regularly, that is also completely okay under Companies Act. But what happens about the auditor? Okay, what happens about the auditor? Now, if I am head office auditor and there is someone else who is branch office auditor, okay, will this branch auditor and head office auditor can be same people or it can be different people also? Can it be same people and different people? Both is allowed? Can be different, can be same. Can be different or can be same. So usually who can be a branch auditor? It can be company auditor. It can be company auditor or any other auditor qualified as per section 1, as per section 139. Who can be a branch office auditor? Same HO guy can be an auditor, but any other auditor qualified and appointed as per section 139 can also be a branch auditor. But what if it's a foreign branch? What if my company has a branch in USA? Then who can be auditor? Then who can be auditor? Then the auditor can be again company auditor or a person qualified to be auditor as per laws of that country. Basic clear? So who can be an auditor of that foreign branch? An Indian company auditor who is also the auditor of HO can be the auditor. Plus, can a CPA, what is the qualification for auditor in US? CPA. So can a CPA be auditor of that foreign branch? Quickly tell me. Can CPA be the auditor of the foreign branch? Yes. So if it's a normal branch and domestic branch, a company auditor or any other person qualified and appointed as per section 139. But if it's a foreign branch, who can be an auditor? A company auditor or a person qualified to be auditor as per the laws of that country. Is that clear? But now if branch auditor makes report, okay? Will he send this report to the head office auditor? Will branch auditor be required to send the report to the head office auditor? Yes. Yes, he will be required to send it to the head office auditor. And that is where our next essay comes, essay 600, that how does the relationship between branch auditor and head office auditor works, which we will do in next class. That is our last class of audit report. Is that clear? This basic introduction you all understood? This brings us to our next topic, which is the last essay of this chapter. After that, we have CARO, which is the main thing, and section 143 reporting, which we will complete in next lecture. And that will be the last lecture for audit report. Everyone clear? That's it for today. If you have any doubt, we can discuss. Else, we'll end the class now. Do you have any other doubt? Thank you. Very engaging audience, very engaging students. Thank you, Ashlesha. That's it, I think. Thank you. Thank you for being good audience. Okay. All right. I think we can end the class now, Nisarg.